We'll be reviewing the cross-country racing in all 5 rounds of the British Mountain Bike Federation National Championship Series, as well as the National Championships themselves. But let's start by meeting some of the main contenders. David Baker has taken the national title for the last 2 years and the point series for the last 3. His aim this year is to retain both titles. Tim Gold, after over a year of poor health, Tim returned to form at the end of last year. This season, he had a string of top 3 finishes in the World Cup, but can he get a win at home? Barry Clark. Barry had 2 wins in last year's series, in which he was runner-up, as well as top 10 results in the World Cup. Barry's an excellent climber and has been very consistent this season. Gary Ford. Gary shot to fame in the sport when he was runner-up in the Nationals and 4th in the World Cup Series last year. Internationally, he would this year join David and Tim as a World Cup race winner. Nick Craig. Since his first National Points Series win in '93, Nick has always been up there. This season, he'll be looking to improve on last year's national bronze medal. John Clay. John is one of the most accomplished British professionals, and after a year of mountain biking, he's becoming an excellent all-rounder. He'll want to improve on his 4th at last year's National Championships. Now to the ladies. Caroline Alexander, the winner of the national title for the last 2 years. Caroline has placed herself head and shoulders above her competition in Britain. She's now also established as one of the best in the world. Deb Morrell. Deb was runner-up in both contests last year.
Sunderland 1, Arsenal 0. And Wimbledon 1, Derby 1. Nationwide League Division 1, Bradford 2, Oxford United 0. Grimsby 1, Port Vale 1. Ipswich, Sheffield United, panel result, home win. Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 1. Oldham Huddersfield, panel result, home win. Portsmouth 0, Bolton 3. Queen's Park Rangers 3, Barnsley 1. Reading 2, Charlton 2. And Southend against Norwich, another panel result, away win. Division 2, Blackpool Luton, panel result, score draw. Bournemouth 1, Rotherham 1. Bristol City 2, Burnley 1. Bury Walsall, panel result, home win. Chesterfield 1, Bristol Rovers 0. Gillingham against Stockport, panel result, away win. Millwall 3, Preston 2. Plymouth 1, Crewe 0. Watford against Shrewsbury, panel result, score draw. Wrexham 3, Notts County 3. At Wycombe, the match was abandoned with the score Wycombe 2, Peterborough 0, and York 2, Brentford 4. Division 3, Barnet Scunthorpe, panel result, home win. Brighton Northampton, panel result, no score draw. Cambridge United Exeter, panel result, home win. Cardiff 1, Lincoln 3. Carlisle Torquay, panel result, home win. Chester 0, Hartlepool 0. Doncaster 0, Colchester 0. Fulham 6, Darlington 0. Hereford 0, Mansfield 1. Not on the pools, Hull 1, Swansea 1. And the matches Leyton Orient against Rochdale and Wigan against Scarborough were both postponed. Tennant Scottish Cup, second round, these matches not on the pools. East Stirling 4, Brora Rangers 3. Ross County against Montrose, match postponed. Spartans 0, Arbroath 0. And Stranraer against Inverness Caledonian Thistle was also postponed. And Whitehill 2, Queen of the South 3. Bell's Scottish League, Premier Division. Dunfermline 1, Dundee United 3. Hearts against Celtic as a late result. Kilmarnock 0, Wraith 1. And Motherwell 2, Hibernian 1. Scottish Division 1, Clydebank against St Mirren, panel result, away win. Dundee 2, Airdrie 1. Greenock Morton 2, East Fife 0. And Stirling 0, Falkirk 0. Scottish Division 2, Berwick 0, Dumbarton 3. Brechin against Hamilton, panel result, away win. And not on the pool, Stenhousemuir 1, Livingston 3. Scottish Division 3, Albion against Alloa, match postponed. And finally, Forfar 2, Queen's Park 2.
Thanks, Bob. So to the table, starting with the Premiership here in England. And Liverpool have extended their lead at the top to 3 points, despite a 0-0 draw with West Ham, because none of those challenging could win either. Arsenal in second place lost 0-1 to Sunderland. United, of course, play tomorrow. At the bottom, well, Middlesbrough are bottom tonight, having lost 1-0 at home to Southampton, who move up to 19th. Blackburn beat Coventry 4-0 to climb up to 14th position. A good second half of the season for them. In the First Division, Bolton have extended their lead now to 8 points with a 3-0 win over Portsmouth, mainly because Barnsley lost to Queen's Park Rangers 3-1 in second place. In Scotland, Rangers don't play Aberdeen until tomorrow. Celtic, they're still playing Hearts because of a delayed kick-off there. They were leading 2-1. And Dundee United in third place. They beat Dunfermline 3-1. Wraith got a win today at the bottom as well. And finally, onto the pools, starting with the half-time numbers. 7 score draws: 12, 16, 21, 24, 34, 41 and 44. 17 no-score draws at half-time: 4, 5, 8, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15, 20, 26, 32, 36, 37, 39, 40, 47 and 49. And to the full-time numbers, 9 score draws: 1, 9, 11, 13, 17, 19, 20, 27 and 28. 5 no-score draws, these are full-time numbers: 4, 32, 36, 37 and 47. The one result to come, that match in Scotland, number 41 on your coupon. No forecast. I don't think it looks terribly good. That's it. Carol will be back with the lottery numbers just after 8 o'clock.
I will both be back with our main news at 9:15. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Hello, good evening. The big freeze hangs on in the east. Elsewhere, temperatures are on the rise, and tonight it's mainly a frost-free night, albeit a murky one, with rain in the far northwest. So we go into tomorrow morning on a mainly dry, cloudy, dull note. We see some bits and pieces of rain in exposed southern and western areas here along the coasts. More persistent rain in the far north and west of Scotland, especially so on the hills. During the afternoon, very little change indeed, although perhaps a glimmer of brightness in northeastern England or eastern Scotland. Where that sun does pop out, temperatures reach a high of 12.54 in Fahrenheit, a blustery old day in the north. Temperatures aren't quite so mild further south, even so higher than today in the southeast. Here's the summary.
Power gen, generating electricity whatever the weather.
A new series of Peak Practice.
Katie Neighbour.
With some familiar faces.
You're Andrew.
Yeah. Will you still bear me in mind?
No.
And some new ones.
You gonna take the partnership?
Push your eyes.
I don't know. Come on, Will. I want to come back and make this work.
Peak Practice returns this Tuesday at 9 on Granada.
Oh, hasn't he grown? Bigger than his dad. But not as big as the Halifax vote.
No.
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 OK, I'll follow you then. Hello.
Over 8 million members eligible to vote will shortly receive their voting packs. Use your vote and be a part of something big.
Quello che vuole, basta che tiri.
Chill alarm.
If you've got a battery-operated smoke alarm, it's essential that you carry out the following simple checks. Test the battery every month by pressing this button. And once a year, replace the battery and remove dust from the sensor with a vacuum cleaner. Look after your smoke alarm. If it doesn't wake you, maybe nothing will. Wake up. Check your smoke alarm.
Get tomorrow's Sunday Mirror and play your cards right with me. You could win a lot of money.
Wow!
Wow! Look, get your free card with the Sunday Mirror and play along with my show tomorrow night. And you could win a share of £25,000. Wow! Thank you. Card, Sunday Mirror. Where'd you get this lot?
You'll love Skegness, Mablethorpe and Woodhall Spa. For seaside fun or relaxing in the magnificent Lincolnshire Wolds, you can't beat Super Skegness, Magic Mablethorpe or wonderful Woodhall Spa. There's so much waiting for you in Lincolnshire. Skegness, Mablethorpe, Woodhall Spa and the Lincolnshire Wolds on the drier side of Britain. So ring for your free brochure now.
Joining us now with the latest news and sport in the Northwest, here's Patrick Snell at the Albert Dock.
Hello and welcome. In a moment we'll be having a look at the football results involving Northwest teams, and we'll have highlights from our featured game, that's Manchester City against Crystal Palace. Goal action too from Tranmere and Stokes games last night, but first some news from around the region. The actress Jill Summers, who played battle axe Phyllis Pearce in Coronation Street, has died. Jill, who was 86, starred in more than 500 episodes of The Street. She'd been ill since September and died from kidney failure at a Manchester hospital in the early hours of today.
Me wed, my Percy. I'm proposing to you. It's leap year, love.
I suppose you think that's funny. Whose idea is this, yours or Maud Grimes?
Hey?
Hey, try and have a big laugh at him and make a fool of me. But you can have your fun with somebody else.
That's Jill Summers, who died earlier today. Other news now, and the former husband of a Lancashire voluntary worker murdered whilst on the Paradise Island of Antigua today said the whole island was in mourning. 60-year-old Gabrielle Stocker, who used to teach in Fleetwood, was found dead on a tourist beach earlier this week. She'd chosen to retire there and had become a leading member of the island community through her voluntary teaching work. An ex-policeman is being questioned about the murder. Ram raiders have escaped with more than £1,000 worth of cigarettes from a city centre shop in the early hours of today. The shop in Manchester's Shambles Square was raided by 3 men wearing balaclavas. They used a stolen vehicle to force their way through the metal roller shutters. Birdwatchers from around the region have been gathering at the Dee Estuary on the Wirral this lunchtime. It was the highest tide of January, the month when there are the largest number of birds on the estuary. The RSPB invited the public along to see the spectacular sight as thousands of birds took flight. Football now, and onto the Premiership, and the results from the Premiership. Blackburn Rovers 4, Coventry City 0. Great run for Rovers, that continues under Tony Parks. Liverpool, though, dropping home points against West Ham 0-0. Their home form leaving a lot to be desired at the moment. And Everton 2-1 losers this afternoon at Hillsborough against Sheffield Wednesday. That's 4 straight defeats in the Premiership for Everton. Now, a special report from Anfield, Graham Beecroft.
The Kop urged passion. Liverpool produced just passing. Another 2 points gone for a team which has lost the Championship plot, it seems. Mind you, the quality of the woodwork on the goalpost was tested in the first half. Liverpool struck it 3 times through Barnes, Fowler and Berger, while Reaper did the same at the other end. It took West Ham 26 minutes to mount their first threatening move, but nevertheless James had to make 2 excellent saves to keep the Hammers out. West Ham had more possession in a second half which produced precious little, but frustration for the home fans. McClusker was a spectator. James had to make 1 vital save. A first home clean sheet since August for Liverpool, but scant compensation for another lost opportunity. Liverpool 0, West Ham 0.
Graham Beecroft reporting. A look at the top of the Premiership. Liverpool stay top, but they'll be ruining those drop points. Arsenal lost at Sunderland. United play tomorrow at Tottenham. Into the Ensley First Division, and Port Vale with a 1-1 draw at Grimsby this afternoon. But the big story, Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 1 at Main Road. Frank Clark's first home game in charge. Bolton Wanderers cementing their lead at the top, 3-0 winners at Portsmouth. As I say, Mr Clark's managerial reign begun with a home point this afternoon at Main Road. Here's Simon Day.
Frank Clark came out to greet the faithful and got a rapturous Main Road welcome just before kick-off for his first match in charge, taking on Dave Bassett's Palace, the South Londoner who turned City down way back in September. But it was to be Palace that provided the early signs of a goal, but thankfully Steve Lomas managed to head to safety. Mere seconds later, and a great run from Palace's Bruce Dyer gave City yet another scare. But the Blues came back with their first real chance of the first half, but Nicky Summerby's shot went drastically astray. Crystal Palace really ought to have gone ahead on 25 minutes when Dave Hopkins' pass to Bruce Dyer should have been tucked away with ease. A neat move then followed from City's Neil Heaney as he swept past two Palace men, only to see his 30-yard drive ensure keeper Chris Day's toes were on form. The half-time team talk must have done some good as City had much the better of the second half. Rosler coming dangerously close with his head. Seconds later and Jerry Craney kept the pressure on, forcing a great save from Chris Day. Then at last, on 64 minutes, City's hard work paid off from King Cladsy's beautiful free kick, though it was actually put away by Palace's Dave Tuttle. But the fairy tale start for Frank Clark wasn't to be. 10 minutes from the end, Palace salvaged a draw, and George Nadar's flicked header beat Martin Margetson and a City defence on holiday. Nevertheless, the 1-1 draw will leave new boss Clark with much to ponder.
Now, last night's First Division action and a couple of important home wins for Tranmere and Stoke. Lou Macari's side have now won 5 on the trot. Sean Bradshaw reports.
Stoke jumped up to 5th place in Division 1 last night with a hard-earned victory against Birmingham City. Rod Wallace, the man on hand, to bundle in Mark Steen's cross shot. Meanwhile, Tranmere stepped up their hunt for a playoff spot, Pat Nevin giving them an ideal start in their match with Swindon. The Scots' bicycle kick warming up the near 9,000 Prenton Park faithful. Rovers increased their lead 5 minutes into the second half. Good work again by Nevin on the right-hand side. His cross sneaking in at the far post, although Dave Higgins initially did try to claim the goal. Swindon were always a threat, however, Kevin Horlock's sweet strike giving them hope. But Tranmere moved into 5th spot despite Nevin's penalty miss, which denied him a hat-trick.
I managed to score 2 goals. I think most people thought Davy Higgins scored it, but he didn't get a touch on the second goal. He just left it and it bounced in at the back post, and he's happy to give it to me as well.
Pat Nevin now the top of the First Division, and that result keeps Bolton well clear of the chasing pack, certainly well clear of nearest challengers Barnsley and Sheffield United. Port Vale a little lower, cementing their position, but Oldham and Manchester City still fighting for it near the bottom, both locked on 27 points each. Now a look at other results. Division 2, Bristol City 2, Burnley 1, and Preston losing again, Millwall 3, Preston 2, Crewe winning 1-0 at Plymouth, and a real thriller at the Racecourse Ground, Wrexham 3 and Notts County 3. In Division 3, Chester's drew 0-0 at home to Hartlepool. That leaves them at the top there, near the top. OK, a report now, a preview on the tape now.
This Monday, the footy show has been heavily influenced by this place. Experts here have come up with some interesting findings on football managers, to sack or not to sack.
1 out of 3 teams which are in the relegation zone and who change managers in the second half will not survive.
I think we've got enough here at the moment, if they all go and perform as they can perform, to get away from the bottom of the First Division. But obviously that's you know, that won't be enough. We're aiming, as I say, to take the club back into the Premier League as quickly as possible.
So the football world and the academic world meet this Monday at 6:30 in the footy show with Trevor Ward on Granada.
Join us for that. Bulletins tomorrow lunchtime at around 10 to 1 with So Rahman. Join us then.
Granada weather sponsored by First Choice Holidays for a brighter outlook.
It will be a misty, overcast night with outbreaks of mainly light rain or drizzle, especially over the coasts and hills. It will be mild with temperatures falling no lower than 5 centigrade. A very mild but misty start with extensive hill fog, but it will slowly improve from the south, leaving Cheshire, Merseyside and southern parts of Greater Manchester generally dry and bright. Northern coasts and hills will remain dull and damp.
For a more detailed local forecast, call Weather Update, sponsored by First Choice Holidays on 0891 559977.
Hot-foot and hot-tempered when it comes to cracking crime. He's one bridge you don't cross. Nash Bridges, Monday at 10:40.
She may be clueless, but she knows how to party in Beverly Hills with teenager Cher. Next.
He's still engaged. What are we going to do with him, Boo-Boo? It can't be his mother at this time of night. Right, now there's going to be trouble.
Why try and try when you can just press 5? Because with BT's new ringback service, when they finally get off the line, you'll be called back.
Hello? It's me.
Hi, Susie.
No, it's Brenda, actually.
Don't try and try. Just press 5.
Thomson's new summer sun brochure shows the scores you give our holidays for as honest a picture as possible.
You go by the Longy Dragon.
The DeLonghi Dragon portable oil-filled radiator. It heats the room faster than any other oil-filled radiator, and it comes with a 5-year guarantee.
Oh.
The DeLonghi Dragon. Extraordinary.
Get tomorrow's Sunday Mirror and play your cards right with me. You could win a lot of money. Wow! Look, get your free card with the Sunday Mirror and play along with my show tomorrow night, and you could win a share of £25,000. Wow! Thank you. Card, Sunday Mirror. Where'd you get this lot?
When the bloating and pain of trapped wind leaves you feeling really uncomfortable, traditional antacids aren't designed to deal with it. Settlers Windies is. It's a new chewable tablet that's specifically formulated to gently disperse trapped wind without embarrassment. New Settlers Windies. Express relief from the pain of trapped wind.
From time to time when you just can't sleep, trust Nitol to gently help you fall fast asleep. And wake up feeling bright and alert. Good mornings follow a good Nitol.
A great evening of entertainment starts tonight with Sabrina, who's certainly got her finger on the pulse. Surprise!
Much better.
Meanwhile, a celebrity lineup prepare to do battle with the Gladiators.
Oh, that was great fun. It's like being on the Dodgems.
Does Cupid's arrow misfire in Blind Date?
Because he didn't even talk to me, so that...
Saturday entertainment, only on Granada.
She is literally the Polaroid of perfection. She has everything and she'll give it to you in a second. Looks can't deceive. She wears her heart on her sleeve. She'll steal you away, not just for one day. Every day is an ordinary day. In her world, she's an ordinary girl.
The home ec teacher gave Dee an assignment to make a traditional American meal. But she was a little pressed for time. So instead of cooking it for 3 hours at 350 degrees, she just did it for an hour at 500 degrees. So the home ec teacher thought that maybe Dee should be in a class with a little less math. And the only other class during that period was drama. Well, she told me it was way fun, so I got a transfer and Meryl streaked my way over to the auditorium. There wasn't a seat next to Dee, but I think it was fate, because the only empty one was right next to the most intense-looking high school boy I'd ever seen.
Excuse me, but this class is for real actors. Are you sure that you're supposed to be here?
Amber, I know that you've faked things many times, but when have you ever acted? People,
People, please excuse my tardiness, but I had a personal crisis I don't want to go into. Last night I broke up with my paramour, and suffice it to say, I'm in a period of mourning. Now, I've been informed that we have 2 new students, Cher Horowitz. Cher, do you have any theatrical experience?
Well, I saw Cats 3 times.
No, darling. Have you done any stage acting?
Oh, well, I was Glinda, the Good Witch and the Wizard of Oz once.
Oh, and when were you in that production?
In Girl Scouts.
People, please. Even Kenneth Branagh had to start somewhere. And our other new student is Donal Miller. Donal, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, that's right.
And Donal, do you have any acting experience?
Well, I was a guy in Guys and Dolls on Broadway last year. And I was a guest star on Fresh Prince.
I saw that episode.
You were so brilliant as the ballet Parker. Very impressive, Donal.
Oh, no. I was watching House of Style that night.
Now, students, as you may know, we are holding open auditions for the school play next week. And the play we will be performing is Hamlet, the classic tale of madness and betrayal. All right, students, let's get rid of our tension with an acting exercise. Everybody pick a partner, and let's do mirror work. And begin. Delve deeply into the other person's eyes. Use your whole instrument. And exaggerate.
Her whole family was wiped out. Only Eiko and her baby daughter survived. When she returned to Tokyo, some became pom-pom girls. Eiko, however, was more resourceful. Her daughter needed penicillin, so she became a black market runner to get it. About this time, Harry became aware of her, what she was doing. He was with the military police then. One day in a skirmish with some American troops, Eiko was nearly killed. Harry prevented that. Nearly wound up in a stockade in the process. Anyway, that's how they met. In 1949, third year of the occupation, Harry was crazy about her. It was obvious. Before long, he rented an apartment, took care of her child like Harry wanted it. Eiko refused. She said she'd live with him forever, but she could never marry him. Then in 1951, Eiko's brother, Tanaka-ken, returned from the dead. He'd been living for 6 years in the jungle caves of the Philippines. He thanked Harry for rescuing Eiko and for saving the daughter. But he told Eiko he could no longer talk to her. She had placed him forever in debt to his enemy, and it was torture for him. Ken left his sister